Hey, it's George coming at you today. And again, what are you doing today to make your future even better? To making the future the dreams you're made of? Because remember, your future is determined by what you do today, not by what you put off till tomorrow. So again, with that being said, what are we going to do today? What are the actions we're going to do today? Well, the actions we're going to talk about today is getting rid of the top 5 excuses why you're not getting your success. And I'm sorry, my video's probably in the way a little bit here, but seriously, what are the top 5 excuses that I hear all the time that are holding people back from their success? And what it is we're going to do today is to identify them, because the first thing you need to do is to be able to identify the excuses that keep just infiltrating our minds, infiltrating our conscious mind, and holding us back. Because once we identify them, then we can crush them, then we can put them aside, and that way we can get to our successes. So again, drum roll. Number 5 is I'm technical and I don't think I can do it. This is probably one of the top excuses, but it's not not going to be, not doesn't make it all the way to the top number 1 today. But I do hear this a lot because a lot of people think this is the the founding of the internet. This is back in the day when, oh, I got to learn HTML code and what the heck is CSS and Java, what, and this, and you don't need to know any of that. It's the time when things are done for you. Automation's already there. There's already ways to do it in a heartbeat. In fact, my 9-year-old daughter can do things better than I can about getting videos published and getting pictures up on the internet and you'd be amazed. And you know what? My 3-year-old, for Pete's sake, is starting to emulate what I do and starting to be able to do it. So trust me when I say, if you can actually type out an email, if you can stare into a camera, and you can click 2 or 3 buttons, then you can do it. You don't ever let your mind convince yourself that you don't have the capability of doing it. Yes, you might need a few resources. Yes, you might have to watch a couple of videos to understand why you got to click that button there or this button here. But trust me when I say, each one of you has the capability. Each one of you has the potential of doing this. Mm-hmm. Really, the only thing holding you back are 2 things: this excuse of thinking you can't do it, and maybe a resource or 2 that'll help you get to where you need to be. But again, there is nothing that is holding you back. There's nothing technical about this that can hold anybody back. So make sure you don't use that excuse. The number 4 excuse is, I don't have the money to do it. Well, a lot of this is, again, it's ingrained into our head of, I don't have the resources, I don't have the money. Trust me when I say, a lot of people out there will find the money, find the way for things that they have convinced themselves they need to do or they need to take part in. I can't tell you how many people have come to me and told me, well, I don't have the money to do it. And then I look, I'm like, well, where'd you get that cell phone? He goes, oh yeah, this is the brand new Samsung, or this is the brand new Apple, and this is the brand new this. I'm like, where did you get the $200 to do that? Well, I just saved up, or I sold this off, or I traded that up. I mean, exactly. You convinced yourself that this was something that you needed, that this was something that you wanted to have that would create a difference in your life. And you found a way to do it. You found the resources to make it happen, whether it was trading in something, whether it was working a couple extra hours, whether it was taking on another part-time job, whether it was selling off some stuff you don't use anymore, whatever it may be. The problem isn't that you don't have the money to do it right now. The problem is you haven't convinced yourself it's the right decision, that you need this for your future, that you're fine where you are. And you know what? That is the thing that's holding you back, is the thought process that it's not going to, that I can't be something else, that I can't make something else, that this can do anything different for me today in my situation. When the fact of the matter is, we give up on so many opportunities out there that can produce so many results for us, that can give us a lot of our dreams, solely because we allow ourselves to be convinced that we just don't have the money to do it, or we don't have the resources to do it. But when we actually go out there and get other things that don't mean anything, that can't produce for us, just because we've convinced ourselves that we need it. So again, number 4 reasons I don't have money to do it, which leads us into number 3. I've never sold anything before. Because a lot of the online opportunities, you got to, you sell products, you sell solutions, you do this, and you got to be able to provide a solution for them there. And they're like, well, I've never sold anything before, and I'm like, BS detector. I'm like, especially if you're married, major BS detector. If you've ever been able to watch a show that you've wanted to watch, you've had to sell a reason why you should be able to watch your show and not whatever that she's watching, or even better yet, whatever the kids are watching. If you can sell off to your kids that they need to go do something else instead of watching that TV so you can watch your show, you're a good salesperson right there. You can sell anything to anybody that needs it. Okay, so there's a lot of misconceptions about selling because a lot of people out there are drowned by pitches and this, that, and the other thing. Sales is not pitching. Pitching is somebody that is trying to sell and doing it the wrong way. And that's when, I've seen it many times. I get a new follower on Twitter and I go down and it's literally offer, 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 offer. I'm like, what the heck do you do with this account? How do you get any followers on it? I mean, it's just pitch, 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 pitch. No, selling is about telling a story, about showing people how it is that the solution that you have for them will change them, will be able to provide a better tomorrow for them, will be able to provide a benefit and be able to correct something that they're running into right now. So trust me when I say everybody can sell. It's all a matter of believing in the product that you have and being able to relate it, being able to prove it that it can make a change, and you are the reason, and you are the proof when you get into the product, when you get into the solution, and it makes that change. So trust me when I say everybody sells, and it's a lot simpler than you think it can be. Yep. Ooh, skipped ahead there. Did you catch that? Number 2, have failed in the past, and they're just all scams. And really what the problem with this is it isn't a problem with systems because, hey, I've been caught in the same situation in the past of, I got into something and, it just didn't work out. And I was like, it's just another scam in a box and, put it away. When the problem wasn't the system, the problem wasn't the product, the problem wasn't the solution. My failure was me. My failure was the fact that I didn't put my heart and soul in it. I didn't actually get into it to understand what needs to do. And if I can't do that, how am I ever going to be able to tell people that they need to be able to do it? I can honestly say, I bought this thing, it was business in a box, something about 5-6 years ago. I got into it and guy called me up and says, hey, I noticed you put in a ticket to cancel your services product. And I said, yeah. I'm like, well, what's the matter? I'm like, well, I'm not getting anywhere. And he's like, really? I'm like, boy, I'm having a hard time because I know you got in at the same time this person did, and this person's making like $4,000 this month, and you're not making anything. So I want to figure out what it is, and what it's all about, and why your results are so different. And I said, well, I opened it up and I tried it out, and it's just not getting anywhere. And he's like, well, what did you do this daily? And I'm like, well, no, I did it once when the first week I got in. And I'm like, okay, well, how about this? Did you do this one daily? And I'm like, no, quite honestly, I never even made it down to that, and it just went on and on and on. And the more the conversation went on, all of a sudden a big light bulb went up and said, really? Seriously? It's me. It's not this product. It's not the solution. It's not what it is here. It's me. It's because I didn't give it priority. I treated it like a hobby that I could go to whenever I felt like. And then 3 weeks later, I didn't do anything. And I'm surprised I'm not getting any results. No, my failure was mine because I didn't truly, honestly give it the attention, give it the actions that it really needed to do. And that's when the light bulb went off in my head. And that's unfortunately, I got off the phone really quickly with them. And because I was embarrassed to admit that, it was all me, not him, not the product or the solution that I was offering. And I was a little too embarrassed. I let my ego get in the way and I didn't get back into that one. But that's when I got onto another solution I'll talk about in a minute that was really there for me at the right time. And I allowed myself to treat it like a business and not like a hobby or an occasional thing, and really gave it the attention and everything that it deserved because of what it is. And that's where I'm getting the results. And that's where I'm starting to build the lifestyle that of my dreams, is because I realize that it's not because of my failures in the past. It's not because they're all scams. It's because of how I get into the business and give it the attention that a business deserves. So again, don't fall for that one. Don't let that one cloud your judgment and cloud what potential really lies within you. And that gets us to the number one. I don't have the time to do it. I personally, honestly fell into this excuse for 3 years. I don't have the time to do it because, hey, I'm a family man. I'm married. I have 2 kids. I had a full-time job at the time where I was putting in 12 hours a day. I was spending another 2 to 3 hours commuting. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have the time to do it. Where am I going to come up with the time? And that's when I started to sit down and really analyze where I spent my time and what did I spend my time on. In fact, I sat down for 2 weeks, and every time I did something, I made a little note of it. And then when I finished doing it, I just put a time there. And I had to force myself not to change my behavior, just to go about my day as normal and sit there for 2 weeks. And at the end of the 2 weeks, I sat down for 2 hours and stared at that list and said, oh my, how much time do I waste on things that don't produce any results for me, that don't benefit me? I was actually I didn't think I had any time in the world. And I sat there and I looked at it and I spent 12 hours watching TV. I spent another 20 hours in 2 weeks listening to the news on the radio, which quite honestly, all it did was have to make me up my blood pressure medicine at the time. Listen to the news. I'm sure you listen to the news, you can relate. So at the end of the day, I went down my list and realized that it wasn't the fact that I didn't have time to do it. It was the fact that I didn't prioritize the time that I had. Now, I'm not saying I got rid of all the time because I spent time with my family. And that was a high priority for me. And that's one of the reasons why I went into business that I have today, is because I wanted more of that time. I didn't want to be that parent that, oh, well, where's your father? And they'd be like, well, he's at work. He's doing what he's got to do. He's got a meeting or he's had to run to this or anything. That was the whole reason why I got into the business. So then I had to start to realize I got to reallocate my time to be able to put into place a stopgap so that when I start to fall into one of those situations where I'm using that time for something that doesn't benefit me, such as listening to the news, does not benefit me at all. Watching the latest reality TV show adds no value to my life. Okay, occasionally I like to watch something because I want to laugh about it. And that just makes me laugh and make me feel like, hey, my life wasn't so bad after all, was it? Because that's not me. But seriously, I started to cut out a lot of those things that didn't benefit me and started to put in activities that educated me, that that I could actually produce, go into income producing activities, that I could start to create certain things that would produce income producing activities, that I'd start to put more time into training, that I'd put more time into motivational listening, that I'd put more time into reading. And it was amazing the change would happen after 90 days. It was amazing the thing that I didn't miss out on anything that was important. I didn't miss out on things that were changing my life. In fact, what I did now is I focused on the things that would produce a better me, that would produce better results, and that would allow me to reach for my dreams and produce an income that create my lifestyle. So it's not that we don't have time to do it. It's really how we attack the time that we have and how we allocate the time that we have toward things that actually benefit us and not just let time go away. Because I'm going to tell you right now, time is your most valuable resource, because you can't trade it, you can't borrow against it, you can't replace it, you can't buy it. When it's gone, it's gone. So what you do with your time is the most valuable thing that we have while we're on this planet. So make sure that you allocating your time to activities that actually benefit you, that will produce the results that you want, so that you can have the lifestyle that you want and need and dream of each and every day. So those are the top 5 reasons. Those are the top 5 excuses that I come across each and every day. And I can honestly say I have been a victim to each one of those excuses. In fact, if we were to talk about all the excuses that I've participated in over the years to get to where I am today, to realize they were just excuses that kept me away from my dreams, that kept me away from taking action today to produce the dreams of my future. Now, comment below. Let me know your excuses. Let me know what you're going to overcome today so that you can have a better tomorrow. So comment below, like the video. And again, if you're looking for avenues to be able to find ways to better use your time, to be able to fill your time with things that will actually produce a better you, to produce the results you want, click the link down in the description, click the link below this video, and I will show you a method that I used to be able to become a better me, to be able to fill my time up with things that would become, or that would improve my thoughts, that would improve my processes, that would allow me to get the results that I'm getting today and create the lifestyle I want. So click the link below, leave a comment with the excuses that you want to overcome, and let's do it together. And I hope to be talking to you again here real shortly.